It's exciting to be part of this panel and very interesting. This topic is of great interest to me. Family-owned and promoter-led businesses actually contribute more than 80-85% of our GDP. So I don't know how many of you knew that. And MSMEs contribute a significant part. So the health of our economy depends on these businesses doing very well. So our consulting is on the premise that if these companies do well, the nation prospers. So my first question to Cheema ji is professionalization vital in his view? And what are the challenges family-owned businesses face on this journey?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Actually, every business is started in a small scale, and it is slowly grown. There is no business which is started as a large or even medium. So everybody has to start from a 10,000, whatever it is, small amount, and slowly it grows. But once you are beyond 250 crore, then you cannot manage all the things yourself. You have to delegate your powers, which few people does not do. If they don't do, they don't progress. You have to change your system of working after you have crossed 250 crore because you cannot do all the jobs yourself. So delegation is a must. That is my view on this.
Okay. And in your experience, what has been the challenge? Because you seem to have done it successfully.
Yes, sir, we have done it. We are in large scale now.
So what were the one or two challenges you faced, one or two mistakes you made, which...
इसमें ऐसा होता ना कि जैसे आपको आईपीएल खेलना है तो आपको प्लेयर लेने पड़ेंगे, रिश्तेदार नहीं. पर फैमिली बिजनेस वाले क्या करते हैं, वो रिश्तेदार लेते हैं, प्लेयर नहीं, वहीं मार खाते हैं. और हमारे केस में दीजिए कि मैंने 10,000 से बिजनेस स्टार्ट करी है और हम 500 करोड़ पे हैं और 400 हमारे पास इंजीनियर्स काम करते हैं और कोई भी एचओडी हमारा हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट चेंज नहीं हुआ. 95 से लेके आज तक एक भी हमारा हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट चेंज नहीं हुआ. 20-20 साल से हमारे ड्राइवर भी चेंज नहीं हुए. 85 के वर्कर आज तक हमारे साथ हैं. इसलिए आपको ऐसे मैनेज करना पड़ता है, उनको अपना बना के रखना पड़ता है.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We'll come back to you, Cheema ji. Bhogal ji, आप बताइए, what has been your experience and challenges? Because I know that you are part of a large family, many brothers. So what has been your experience of working with professionals?
Sir, my reply is very simple. We are a family-run company for the last 84 years. And still we are together. But what we have done about 10 years back, 15 years back, we have divided few things vertically. We are 7 brothers, I'm the youngest out of the lot. What we have done is we have distributed the work among 7 brothers, but the parent controlling company is still the same, belonging to all the brothers. Of course, it's being run by me because I'm the youngest in the family. What I have learned, I'm also in the business for the last, active business 50 years. Little bit inactive business I'm for the last 58 years. I started traveling when I joined BA first year in 1966. But from 1972, I'm in business. What I've seen is that there are 2 very important functions to run a business which is owned by a family. Number 1 is that every child or everyone who enters the business must have a gainful employment. Normally what happens is you give them the chair, but no proper responsibility, no proper employment. And gainful compensation also. Normally what happens in the family is the elder son or the elder child get everything. The younger one get little less, the younger of the lot get the last. He's the last. So the problem starts there. So my funda of business is very, very simple. Gainful employment and gainful compensation to the people who comes into your work.
And Bhogalji, adding to the question of professionals feeling comfortable and empowered working in your organization with so many family members working. So what are the tips you will have for people from family businesses who want to employ really good professionals who will stay for decades?
So to my mind, there are two things together. First is the professionals. I'm sorry to say, micro I'm taking out.
Yes.
I'm talking about only medium and small.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the large also. The professional courses which are offered in this country are not suitable for small and medium industry. I can hire a person who look after my production. I can have a general manager works. I can have somebody who is looking after my marketing. But when it comes to the management part of it, what these people are taught is not suitable or not understandable by the owners. That's one big problem. Second problem which I face is all of us are having children who are very well educated in management also and other vocations also. But the problem is once, like I give you my example, personal if you don't mind. I have two sons. My elder son is 46 and younger one is 41. My elder son did his MBA from Delhi. He worked with the electrical company for 1 year. My younger son did his MBA from UBS Chandigarh University, Punjab University. He worked for 2.5 years with Airtel. Then I let them come into the company, not before that. I still remember the very first day. I was just telling Mr. Shekhar earlier. I bought him a Matisse car on that day when he was joining the first day he was joining. And the night he came back from Jalandhar. He said, Dad, I want to change my car. I was a little upset. I said, look, you are not going to get a Mercedes-Benz or a Audi for that matter. No. Dad, my problem is different. My immediate boss got a smaller model than my car and he will not tolerate his junior got a better car. Can we do this in our companies? No. So train your children who are professionally educated outside your own unit, then bring them in. Only then the professionalism can come to your company.
Excellent. That comes back to values. Rajanji, a question to you. How is decision making done where professionals are involved and promoters are also involved?
In the beginning, actually, the decision making is the persons who are already involved in the company, they are thinking that we are, my father or my grandfather or my great-grandfather has started and I am the successor and this is the new person coming in the company and how I will make his work with his decisions. And I am here from the last many decades and he is coming in the few months, he is dictating in the company. So there is a starting in the beginning, these things comes in the mind. Maybe they will not declare outside or it will be in the mind. But in this family-owned companies, difference of opinion is always there. I had some experiences, if I can share with you also. In the beginning, we are into a food company. We are manufacturing different foods like rice, spices, pulses, tea, and we are suppliers to Walmart and Amazon. And with the grace of Almighty, today we are India's largest suppliers to Walmart and Amazon of staples. Thank you. So when I started, I was studying in Delhi University in Khalsa College. One of my professor asked in the class that how many of you students are in the food business? How many are in the business? Only 5-6 students stand up And one was from the owner of petrol pump, one was the owner of Bricklin, and one was in the coal business, and one was the distributor of Hindustan Liver, and like that. And my father and his brothers, they were running a wholesale store, and we had a small, very small unit. 4 or 5 persons were working over there, and we were into only the basin plant was there and oil mill was there. We were manufacturing oil and selling it in the tankers or in the drums of 200 kgs. That was our product size. And in the basin, the product size was 90 kg bag. That was 3, 4 products. And when that professor told me that, are you into, have you ever thought of the brand? And I said, no, sir, never. And do you know about the intellectual property? I said, no, not about. And there was nobody in the class who, anybody know about the intellectual property. So in 1992, I worked with him on intellectual property, and that time we registered A1 brand, and after a couple of years, we came to know that A1 was the brand of Hindustan Liver, and then we worked on a few other brands, and 4 or 5 years, this brand, another brand war was, we registered Century. Even after 15 years, we had a brand war with the Century Birla Group, and we won that Century brand in favor of our company. And in A1, we had converted into A+, and today A+ is available with all the modern stores, with the Walmart, Metro, Reliance, DMart, and all that. So there was also always a difference of opinion in the families also, as you were asking.
Okay, great. When we hear the word professionals, even family members professionalizing themselves, being accountable, having good management practices, etc. Is that important, Cheema ji?
It's actually very important, but as Bhogal Sahab has said, that we don't have any institution which teaches management for MSMEs. They only teach about the multinational. We also sent one of our nephew to SP Jain College, Bombay, paid 27 lakh fees. And when he came back from here, they told in the multinational culture that 11 o'clock you should have a meeting. So what he's doing is 11 o'clock, he's calling all the head of the department and making a tea meeting and spoiling 1 hour of prime time. So in 1 year, after 2-3 years, everything dropped because all people, they stopped working. They said, whatever he will say, we will do. He is saying 11 o'clock meeting, we'll go following meeting. So it is not like that. One thing is we must have some institutes which real teaches that how the small and medium industries should be managed, like the entrepreneurs are managing. We are never making, after he's left, we just double the turnover every year. Because everybody started working back. So that PhD never works in the field. So that's one the professional has to take care. Even if it is a family professional or outside professional. You have to manage whatever the conditions are there, present conditions, with team. Basically is team building.
Thanks a lot. Now let me come to a technology part. One thing which every business needs to do and MSMEs do very well is adjust themselves to the needs of the market. That's how they thrive. And today's world we know is so technology induced. Every business model needs the technology across the business model, be it customers to vendors. So I want to ask nobody better than Sharad here to ask him, how are MSMEs facing this challenge of injecting technology into their business models?
First I would like to tell you that the adoption is phenomenal in last decade, and mostly by MSMEs. Yeah, obviously medium are more adapting to it. 2-3 reasons. One is COVID had taught a lot of things in recent past, that without connectivity, without a proper seamless flow of data, you cannot make decisions, right? And we all know a very often used word is work from home, work from anywhere. This is the culture. This is the second wave. The first wave was adoption. This is evolving. Most of the MSMEs have realized that they are here to service the customer and use their resources for that, rather than using a resource which is enablement. So they have adopted or started adopting the outsourcing part of it, right? And also, there are a lot of modules which are available in the market that you can use as per your convenience, timelines. So this is also helping it.
Great. And what are the challenges if some of them want to start on this journey? Is it rocket science? Are there some easy steps?
I'll put it this way. I'll not call it challenge, I'll call it barriers. Typically, in current ecosystem, we have enough of funding available. We have technology available. But the only challenge or a barrier is the microscopic view. What does it mean? It means people are not exploring what they can scale. There are MSMEs who have realized that technology can give them scale, right? It's the backbone. The second challenge or barrier is the, I would say, delay in decision making. Why? Maybe there are too many options available, so there is a delay, or a hesitation to adopt something which is very different than your core business. So my suggestion is to overcome that, use the experts. There are experts. Like our company has certain expertise in different levels, at different platforms. There are technologies which can improve your productivity, which can improve your brand presence, which can improve your inventory management, which can improve your security threat, right? So if you think that way, obviously there are no challenges and barriers.
Mr. Bhogalji, a question for you. How do we take advantage of intergenerational talent? Are there advantages of youngsters entering the family business? And what are the advantages of experience being in the family businesses and both of them working together?
That's a very, very tedious question. Before I reply to that, I want to supplement him. People of my age, it's very difficult to understand the modern technological advancements. I remember my father telling me one day, he said, if you don't understand, don't do two things. Now, keep your mind open, but keep two things closed. I said, what are those? He said, keep your mouth shut, your eyes closed. So today's modern technology, to be very honest, my children have done reasonably very well. My daughter-in-law, she graduated from UBS Chandigarh, and she was working with company like A.T. Kearning in. But those things I don't understand. So for me, is to keep my mind open, hear them what they are saying. But two things: keep eyes shut and the mouth shut, and the things go well. Sir, what I want to use this platform today, MSME में एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. उनके पास विजन नहीं है. The vision is missing. A person like us sitting in a small little town of Ludhiana, जिसको कोई जानता नहीं था, we were competing with companies like Traub of Switzerland, जिसकी selling agency PMT होती थी, Perfect Machine Tool in India. You know what machines we were producing? multi-spindle automatic lathe making winders for the watches, carburetor ka jet, ballpoint pen tip, 40 years back. But then we नीचे को चले गए. क्यों? Because the vision was not there sitting in that term. But today, the things have changed. Things have changed. We were discussing when we were sitting earlier. I remember my brother, he was one of the top athletes during his time. Indian Air Force mein the wo. First time he went out of India was in 1960. And the first export consignment from anywhere in India for bicycle components, which went to Europe, was from my company, not from companies like TI Cycle in Chennai, or Hero Cycle, or A1 Cycle, or Atlas. Because he had the vision. Sir, I tell you one thing, small, if you give me 2 minutes time, I was in Sri Lanka, sitting in a small little resort, all alone. My customer was a Muslim guy, and unfortunately it was Friday. So he didn't come. I was sitting all day, frustrated, doing nothing. I don't know swimming, so the sea was out for me. But the manager told me, Mr. Bhogal, don't worry, in the evening there's a big Dutch group from Holland. They are coming. In the evening, about 100 Dutch people came. And the manager introduced me to the leader. He said, it's Mr. Bhogal from India. Hand shook, and he went and sat on his table and kept on looking at me. Kept on looking at me. I thought, my turban. No. Then he came to me. I said, something is hitting me here. I said, I don't understand. What do you want to tell me? Are you in the bicycle industry? I said, yes. Something, oh yeah. My bicycle got a Bhogal hub. Wow. Somebody in Holland knew this because of the vision of one family member who came out of Indian Air Force. Because he could think. But other 6 brothers? No. So my suggestion to all these friends who are sitting here in MSME is, please forget the Chinese formula of volumes. Go for the value addition. Value addition will give you money, will build your brand, and will give you a name also.
I would like to add here. देखिए ऐसा है कि 2000 में हमारी कंपनी की टर्नओवर थी 2 करोड़ और 2008 में थी 200 करोड़. तो ये 100 टाइम जो ऐड हुई सिर्फ 7 साल में, एवरी ईयर डेवलप 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 120, 240 ऐसे. तो उसका बेसिक रीजन जो है वो है फोरसाइटनेस और इनोवेशंस. मैंने 15 साल पहले स्ट्रॉ फायर्ड बॉयलर बना दिया था. 15 साल पहले. आज शोर मच रहा है कि पंजाब में स्ट्रॉ बर्निंग करो, ये करो, वो करो. और हम लोग पहली कंपनी है जो स्ट्रॉ में से एथनॉल बना रहे हैं और स्ट्रॉ को डायरेक्ट बर्न कर रहे हैं. तो इसलिए जो भी एमएसएमई है उनको हमेशा इनोवेशन और फोरसाइटनेस थिंक करना जरूरी है. उसी से गाड़ी चलती है. ये फोरसाइट होना बहुत जरूरी, इनोवेशंस बहुत जरूरी है. और एडवांस चलना पड़ता है. टेक्नोलॉजी के पीछे नहीं चलना, टेक्नोलॉजी से आगे चलना है. थैंक यू सर.
And coming back to technology and vision, because both are very closely linked, and taking lesson from Mr. Bhogal. So how can we, what is your experience of creating that technology vision and roadmap along with MSMEs?
So first of all, I'll pick what I have learned today from our panelist. He gave a very good example, right? A real life example, and I will definitely learn this throughout my life. An MSME, once it goes beyond 250 crores, it has to be, you cannot drive this. It has to be automated. right? So from there I'll pick. Similarly, the vision, as in my first half, those who attended my presentation, our vision, and which is also mine, is that in future, every individual and company will have access to devices or technology. Now, it is up to them how efficiently they use to drive a transformation of their business or for their customers. So everything is available and evolving very fast. I'll give you an example. Now, we have a solution and many more companies have a solution where you ask for a certain output for your organization and we will design a solution around it, a customized solution. Now, everything is moving towards customization. As per your individual requirement, we have tools, which is hardware as well as software, which can design. I'll give you a second example. He gave a beautiful, few stories about his life. One thing which I want to add on is, if MSME has to grow, as I said in the first answer also, and I'm picking his vision part and innovation part, you should not have any, resistance. You should adapt. There are modules available, simple as that. You need, say, 10 devices. Why to pay 100% of that and increase the capex? Go for OPEX. The technology is changing very fast. Likewise, solutions for anything or any function can be integrated. Software as a service is becoming so popular that any software can be built for a smaller work or for a larger work. So the vision net is adapt the changes, go for a solution approach rather than what has been offered and you are trying to figure out how to use it for your solution.
Very good. Thanks. And this question is for Mr. Rajan. Vision, MSMEs, most of the MSMEs are family owned and family led, promoter led. So vision, you need one common vision. You can't have many visions and something which is aligned. So is it a challenge for family businesses? How are you grappling with it so that all of you come together for one vision?
Yeah, that is very important, because whenever you work in a team, in a family is also a team, so focus is very important. Because there are different members and brothers, suppose they have different mindsets, they have different family circles, they have different friend circles, they are from different, belongs to different organizations, attachments with different TV serials, they read different stories, different books. So then the mindset changes. But if in the term of business, we can say family business, the focus is very important. For example, if I was into, I had an interest of different things also, because I used to see some science serials, science books, but I was very clear that this is my family is doing a wholesale business, and I have a small factory and it's in the platform, and the turnover of that time was maybe of 3 crores or 4 crores in a year. And my father, they are 4 brothers, and now it was the time of 92, 91, and I had a vision that I will convert it into the packaging, because we didn't have anything a small pack. That time we started from oil packaging, and I have a challenge that time that my father and my chachas, used to say that nobody will buy this bottle of packaging. Our 90% sale is of open oil, open foods. See, go in the market, see, only the Hindustan Liver is packaging, or the P-Mark is the one company who is selling the oil in the bottles. There is no other company, and only multinational companies are Colgate and Palmolive and Richard Coleman. These companies are doing. How we are a small firm, very, very small firm, and that too in a smallest district of the country will work with the vision. So I am from Namashahar. That's a small town in the country. So that time I had a lot of challenges. So like Chandrasekhar said, that you have to work in the single focus. My focus was that I have to convert my wholesale store into the small packaging, and my unit where the 5 persons, 7 persons were working to the different units. which we are trading. And today, those 5 persons have converted into 700 persons, and that 2-3 crores were converted into 300 crores. So the vision and focus was there.
Thanks. Again, I'll take Mr. Cheema's advice on what advice will you give to the business families which are now in their second or third generation, where now different wings of the family are now there with very different views.
इसमें ऐसा है कि इसमें ना जो प्रमोटर होते हैं उनकी तो चल जाती है. अब जैसे हम 4 भाई हैं, हम लोगों का तो इकट्ठा चल गया, लेकिन जैसे ही नेक्स्ट जनरेशन आती है वो चल नहीं सकती. तो इसलिए फैमिली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का, रिटन फैमिली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का होना बहुत जरूरी है. अगर रिटन फैमिली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं होगी तो कोई इधर को टांग खींचेगा, कोई इधर को टांग खींचेगा, कोई काम नहीं होगा और सबका ही नुकसान होगा. तो इसलिए फैमिली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हर फैमिली ने, जिसने, अगर आपने जिंदगी चाहते हो कि आपकी थर्ड जनरेशन के बाद आपकी कुछ नाम रहे, आपका कोई प्रोग्रेस होए, तो एक रिटन डाउन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अपने लॉज बना लो और उसके ऊपर सारी फैमिली को साइन कराओ कि भाई इसके अलावा बाहर कोई नहीं जाएगा. ये सबके लिए कानून है, वो बहुत जरूरी है सक्सेस के लिए.
Mr. Rajan, do you also have something like this, an understanding
Yeah,
within the
definitely.
family?
Yeah, we also had few years back, we had made one MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding among the family members, and we keep on polishing it. After every couple of years, we add the points, we sit together, that what more to add, what more to delete or the changes, and also he has given very good example on the softwares. We regularly work on the technology, regularly work on the softwares, like we are manufacturing company, we are trading company, we are a retail company, we work with the biggest wholesaler of the world, that is Metro Cash and Carry, and we are biggest suppliers to the biggest retailer of the world, Walmart. So this is the continual process actually.
And Mr. Bhogal, while we were talking outside, you were mentioning some very interesting things. Your family has some golden rules. Can you share a few of these?
2 golden rules are already explained by them. The family constitution. Second was the gainful employment and gainful compensation. Third, which my family is observing till today, never take the work home, never bring the home to the work.
एक चीज मैं ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि हम 4 ब्रदर हैं और चारों फैमिलीज इकट्ठी थी अभी रिसेंट 2-3 साल तक. मतलब यही हमारा राज है प्रोग्रेस का. और कोई हमारे पास क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं है, कोई पैसा नहीं था, 10,000 से बिजनेस स्टार्ट करिए. तो इसलिए आपको फैमिलीज को, सिबलिंग्स को हैंडल करना सबसे बड़ी कला है और उसी से आपकी ग्रोथ है और विनिंग है.
See, one interesting topic is female empowerment. And our previous panel was all female, and this is all male. So a question for you, because you are the patriarch and you're leading the families. So, Mr. Bhogal, first of all, I want your views. What are your views on inducting talented family members who are females into the family business?
Sir, actually, जो business की constitution है, there are 2 types. One is the partnership concern, or one are the private limited or limited concerns or LLC, whatever it is. First part जो partnership वाला है, उसमें तो I would like to avoid the ladies of the house to be involved in it. Normally, don't mind my saying ladies, normally ladies का नाम ही रखा होता है टैक्स बचाने के लिए, काम उनको कोई नहीं दिया जाता है पार्टनरशिप कंसर्न में. इट्स ए फैक्ट. अगर एक भी पार्टनरशिप कंसर्न मेरे को बहुत रेयर होंगी जिसमें हस्बैंड वाइफ ही हैं और कोई बाकी फैमिली मेंबर नहीं है ज़्यादा, वहाँ तो चल जाता है. If it is a limited company or a private limited company, then the work of a lady is different. Why I'm saying is, to be very honest, these days lot of legal problems are coming up. And I am fortunate my wife is well educated. By the way, I'm married. My wife is from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. My wife's grandfather went to Malaysia in 1898. That old family living there. So she is well educated. She understands what we are talking. 90% of the ladies don't even know the ABCD of business. But we make them partners. Tomorrow something happen, those poor ladies are also, वो कहते हैं सिकंजे में फंस जाती हैं. But in limited companies, private limited company, where your liability is limited, everybody understands the lady's liability is also limited. There it is okay. But if the lady is professionally trained, then the story is different. Ludhiana में एक company है Deepak International. They are in the bicycle trade also. They are in got office in China and so many places. Around 250 to 300 crore company hai. Mr. Dipinder Singh Rangad is well educated. Did his engineering in mid-60s from England and then came back and settled in India. Miyan Bibi ne company चलाई है दोनों ने. Same story. Small little factory, now 250 crores. With offices in China, offices in Australia, factories in Sansarpur, in Himachal, in Ludhiana, because his wife is also professionally educated. So there the story is different. But मैं पर से ये नहीं कह रहा कि भी ladies को involve नहीं करना चाहिए. If they are capable, they should. They should.
I want to add little here. In our case, my wife's contribution is 60%, not 50%. She managed all the three ladies, all the house ladies. And she managed to keep our family together, which we are which giving fruit today. और हमारी पोत्रियां 6 की 6 लड़कियां हैं, आगे कोई लड़का है ही नहीं. तो हमने तो लड़कियों को ही आगे करना है भाई, हमारे पास तो चॉइस ही नहीं है.
Sorry to add it. स्टोरी सबकी एक जैसी है, मानता कोई नहीं, इन्होंने ओपनली बता दिया.
सर मैं एक बड़ी ब्यूटीफुल बात आपको बताता हूँ. माय डॉटर शी डन हर पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन फ्रॉम वॉरिक यूनिवर्सिटी इंग्लैंड एंड मैंने उसको बोला कि यू कम इन माय यू जॉइन माय कंपनी. तो कहते जी पापा आफ्टर दैट हाउ आई कैन कैरी दिस बिजनेस अलॉन्ग विद मी. अगर वर्ल्ड में किसी भी सिटी में, जो प्रैक्टिकल बात है अपने इंडियन फैमिलीज की, तो बच्चे आजकल स्मार्ट इनफ हैं. तो मैंने कहा चलो एक बार तुम ज्वाइन तो करो, देखते हैं. सो शी सेड कि चलो पापा मेरे को बताओ कि आपका बिगेस्ट चैलेंज, व्हाट इज योर बिगेस्ट चैलेंज एंड योर पेन पॉइंट राइट नाउ इन योर कंपनी. सो वी दैट टाइम इट वाज द लास्ट ईयर, 2 साल पहले की बात है, कोरोना के टाइम्स का स्टार्टिंग थी. तो वी आर सप्लाइंग जैगरी पाउडर टू वॉलमार्ट इन नेम ऑफ वेदका. तो वो दैट इज द ओनली इंडियाज डिहाइड्रेटेड जैगरी पाउडर. तो बिकॉज वी आर इन द बेल्ट ऑफ नवांशहर, वहाँ की जो गुड़ और शक्कर है वो वर्ल्ड ओवर फेमस है. वहाँ की कण है जो सॉइल में है, तो वो क्वालिटी ऐसी बनती है. तो हमारे को वर्ल्ड ओवर डिमांड है, लेकिन वो प्रोडक्ट नहीं बन रहा था, प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो रही थी. तो उसको प्रोडक्शन में वो आई, तो उसने मतलब 12-12, 15-15 घंटे कभी लैब में, कभी प्लांट में, कभी कहीं. तो शी वर्कड लाइक एनीथिंग, मतलब इतने पैशन से उसने काम किया. और उसके बाद वो आफ्टर 15-20 डेज उसकी प्रोडक्शन उसने काफ़ी बढ़ाई. तो हम भी उतना टाइम और वो नहीं दे पा रहे, और हमारी क्वालिटी कंट्रोल टीम भी उतना नहीं टाइम और डिवोशन दे पा रही थी. द रिजल्ट्स केम. तो आफ्टर दैट वी हैड डिस्कशन. कहते जी चलो मैंने ये कर दिया, नाउ व्हाट नेक्स्ट. अब आप बिकॉज मैट्रिमोनियल की बातें चल रही थी, तो शी सेड कि मेरी शादी हो जाएगी, हाउ आप मेरे को वो यूनिट दोगे अगर मैं फॉरेन चली गई या इंडिया के किसी सिटी में चली गई, तो कैसे होगा, मैं इसको क्यों लेके जाऊं, वाई. सो देन मेरे पास भी उस चीज़ों के कुछ के आंसर्स नहीं थे, बिकॉज वी आर इन स्मॉल टाउन एंड शी डोंट वांट टू लिव इन नवांशहर. और राइट नाउ शी इज इन दिल्ली. तो उसने अपनी, कहते जी मैं आपकी कंपनी में ना, आप लोग बहुत कम मार्जिन पे काम करते हो, बिकॉज हमारी इंडस्ट्री ऐसी है. तो कहते जी आप मेरी नहीं, मैं आपके साथ काम नहीं करूंगी. शी स्टार्टेड हर ओन कंपनी, वेलनेस इंस्टीट्यूशनल वेलनेस फर्म. वो एक अब ऐप पे काम कर रही है. तो लाइक दिस, मतलब ये चीज़ें डिपेंड्स अपॉन द फैमिली टू फैमिली एंड सिचुएशन टू सिचुएशन.
Very good, very good. One more question which is very tricky is family is considered a socialistic institution, that we want to take care of all family members equally, even though their competencies might be different. कोई बहुत होशियार है, कोई नहीं है, etc. Whereas the business is like sports. हमें best बंदा लगाना है, and we are competing with others. So how do you manage this dichotomy? जैसे उनको compensate करना, or to give them rewards. Person who's contributing more gets more, etc. These are basic human needs. So is it a challenge, and how have you faced, Mr. Cheema ji?
हम लोगों ने क्या करते हैं कि हम लोगों ने रिवार्ड बनाए हुए हैं। तो साल के आखिर में एक तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं भी, अगर किसी ने लॉन्ग सर्विस है 10 साल 15 साल 20 साल, तो उसके सर्टिफिकेट्स बनाए हुए हैं, और वो सर्टिफिकेट पेड है। जैसे अगर किसी ने 5 साल नौकरी करी तो उसको 5 लाख मिलेगा, 10 साल नौकरी करी उसको 10 लाख मिलेगा।
फैमिली मेंबर्स
ना
हाँ,
जो एम्प्लॉइज प्रोफेशनल्स हैं
yes.
उनके लिए है। और फैमिली मेंबर्स में हम सबको बराबर बराबर देते हैं, और वो अपने हिसाब से जो मर्जी, चाहे कोई उसको बचाए चाहे फूके, वो उसकी बहुत रेशन है, देना सबको बराबर है।
और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज
जो जो कॉम्पिटेंट है उसको वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी देते हैं, दूसरे को नहीं देते।
Okay. Mr. Bhogal,
ओनली कॉम्पिटेंट एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबल।
yeah. Your response to this, how do you manage different people with different capabilities?
इसमें सर इश्यूज काफ़ी इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं. दिस इज नॉट दैट सिंपल. If you talk about my own self, my elder son is not married. My younger son is married. He got 2 daughters. How can be the needs of these 2 people be the same? It's not possible. So you have to compensate according to what their needs are also. You can fix up something. There's one company in Ludhiana, everybody must have heard of it, A1 Cycle. So the Onkar Singh Pava have 2 sons. उन्होंने एक असूल बनाया हुआ है कि दोनों बेटों को साल में 50-50 लाख रुपया देना है. आपने छुट्टियां जाना, फर्स्ट क्लास ट्रैवल करना है, आपने मून पे जाना, मून पे जाओ, आपने उसको फिक्स डिपॉजिट में डालना है, जहाँ डालो, आपकी मर्जी है. उसके बाद एज पर जो उनका पोर्टफोलियो है. So what we do is also the same thing. What I am doing is, although we are living अभी भी पुरानी primitive society में है जी. We are 2 brothers married to 2 sisters, live in the same house. We have a common kitchen. My 2 sons and their families are also living with us, which is very, very rare. They are not young kids. They are in their 40s. So it is a difficult thing, but to take care of their daily needs as per the family, वो हम जरूर will take care of that.
Okay. Sharad, question to you. In this journey of enabling MSMEs to be technologically savvy or use technology to the best to compete in the modern marketplace, do you need a family champion who understands technology? Or does that help, or is it just professionals you interact with in MSMEs?
If I have understood your question rightly, basically you are saying for a MSME to interact with professional, do they need expertise?
In terms of enabling this change, because there is huge amount of change management.
Right, right.
For example, the elder generation who are in power might not understand technology. Like he was saying,
right.
I keep my eyes shut. He has some golden rules.
Right.
So how do you enable those decision making happen where a lot of it is uncertain? It's just a vision.
See, the simplest way is to share the use cases, case studies, and show the change that has brought because of the technology. Everybody can understand that, right? If you only talk about, your product line or complicated things, nobody can be expert. Like I am also not an expert. There are subject matter expert and they understand. In a company like us who is leading the technology, right, who is helping everyone, not even MSME, public, government, global accounts, everywhere. So you don't need to be tech savvy. What you need, and which all the gentlemen have said, you need to be open, you need to be innovative, you need to accept that things will change. There are tools, forget about technology, for everything that you are doing. And if you don't have, must-do responsibility of that, just outsource it. But to do that, you need to be open and acceptable. That's it.
I would like to add here. ऐसा है कि जब पीछे पार्लियामेंट में हजार के नोट बहाए थे लोगों ने, तो हम लोग तो स्टीम बॉयलर्स बनाते हैं, तो उसका तो फ्यूचर ही न्यूक्लियर है. तो मैंने अपनी टीम से कहा भैया यार अपना क्या बनेगा, क्योंकि फ्यूचर में ये भूसी जलाने से तो पावर बनेगी नहीं. तो हमने फाइंड आउट किया भी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, तो उन्होंने बताया जी वो न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन होता है तो उससे ह्यूमन डिजास्टर वगैरह हो जाता है. तो हम लोगों ने एक सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप किया जो कि सॉफ्टवेयर गूगल मैप के ऊपर प्लॉटिंग कर देता है कि यहाँ पे एक्सप्लोजन हुआ है, इतनी देर में इतना एरिया अफेक्ट होगा, तो इस एरिया को वैकेट कर दो. तो आर्मी वालों ने कहा यार ये तो हमारे बड़े काम की चीज़ है, आप हमें इसका दो डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन. तो मैं मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस में वहाँ पे डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन के लिए गया, तो वो जर्नल 10-15 बैठाए उन्होंने, बड़े बड़े स्टार वाले. मेरे को तो डर लगे उनके तारे देख देख के. तो एक ने बोला यार चीमा बॉयलर लिमिटेड और ये सॉफ्टवेयर, ये क्या कहानी है भाई. मैंने कहा सर मुझे तो सॉफ्टवेयर के स्पेलिंग भी नहीं आते. मैंने कहा भाई आप तो जर्नल हो आर्मी के, अगर मैं आपको भी राइफल देता हूं आप गोली चलाओगे वो क्या लगेगी बुल में? कहता नहीं वो तो अब कहाँ लगेगी, इतने साल तो राइफल चलाई नहीं. ऐसे मैंने कहा भाई मेरे को उसके अंदर क्या है वो सीखने की जरूरत तो नहीं है, मेरे को सिर्फ ये जरूरत है कि कौन सा बंदा कौन सा काम करेगा वही करवाऊंगा, तभी मेरे को विन मिलनी है. तो इसलिए जो MSME वाले मालिक हैं उनको ये सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है कि टेक्नोलॉजी कैसी है, क्या है, कहाँ सॉफ्टवेयर क्या है, हार्डवेयर क्या है. उनको ये पता नहीं चाहिए ये बंदा ये काम करने का कॉम्पिटेंट है, उसके दिमाग को यूज करो, अपना उसमें नाक मत घुसेड़ो तो कामयाबी मिलेगी. थैंक यू सर.
Okay. See, the fact is 90% of MSMEs in the third generation will collapse. In the sense, not collapse in the business model sense, but the family businesses will no longer be family businesses. They will be nuclear family businesses. Very few, 10% survive and create a culture or a system where they thrive. For example, if you see internationally, there are Mercs and a lot of companies which are family-owned businesses for generations and across hundreds of countries. So your own advice or tips to give to others in this journey, how to create family-owned businesses which can run 10 decades?
It's a very, very simple answer. Very, very simple answer. I don't know, I'm not a movie buff. बट एक मूवी आई थी जिसमें वो फेमस डायलॉग था, मैं हूं ना, आपने देखी होगी सबने. आई टोल्ड माई चिल्ड्रन टेक योर इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजन, इफ समथिंग गोज रॉन्ग मैं हूं ना. अदरवाइज वो होता था डैड ये करना है, डैड वो करना है. वो डैड बेचारे सुबह 9 बजे से लेके 5 बजे तक फैक्ट्री वर्कर बन जाते थे. Let the children be independent. Let them be the decision maker. Don't force your decision on the next generation. नहीं मैं क्या हो जाएगा, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या हो जाएगा, फेल हो जाएंगे, इससे बड़ी चीज़ तो नहीं कोई हो सकती. So what? So what? बड़े लोग हैं ऐसे करके नीचे को गए हैं फिर वापस आए हैं. So this is a simple rule. Let the children do the way. If they want to ask your opinion, I'm there. If they don't want to ask my opinion, it's okay. Let them discuss out between two of them. Let them take a decision. अगर नहीं ठीक होगा तो कोई गलती हो जाएगी मेरे पास आएंगे.
So freedom of decision making, empowerment,
yes,
it makes them enjoy the
very
business.
Important. Very,
very good. Cheema ji, your view.
तो इतना कुछ बोल दिया है.
हाँ, सीक्रेट
हमारे यहाँ सीक्रेट ये है कि कोई 2-3 करोड़ का जितने का मर्जी नुकसान कर दे उसको पूछना नहीं है. ये नुकसान हो गया, हो जाने दो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हम कौन था पीछे से लेकर आए, हमने कौन सा साथ लेके जाना है। इसलिए उनको एनकरेज करो, नुकसान करने दो, कुछ नहीं होता, सब कुछ ठीक होता है, और वह तुमसे अच्छा ही करेंगे, आपसे अच्छा ही करेंगे, आपको इसके ऊपर विश्वास होना चाहिए।
Mr. Rajan, आपके views, because you must be thinking about this question, how to have this business continue for decades ahead.
या दिस इज वन ऑफ द पॉइंट कि बिल्कुल ठीक है कि बच्चों को जब कभी हम जस्ट एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ स्मॉल किड, बच्चा आपके सामने बैठा हुआ है और वो टॉयज के साथ खेल रहा है और योर फोकस इज ऑन द चाइल्ड एंड दैट टॉय, कि वो कहीं उसको लग ना जाए, उसकी आंख पे ना लग जाए, उतना आपने देखना है। टूटता है टॉय नया आ जाएगा, बस उसको उसको कोई हानि ना पहुंचे, इतना देखना है। दैट इज द कैलकुलेटिव रिस्क वी हैव टू टेक विद आवर चिल्ड्रन।
And in the last panel also they mentioned that जब banks fund करती हैं, एक box होता है succession planning कितना strong है इनका for MSMEs, ताकि danger ना हो, risk ना हो business model में. So your view, Bhogal ji, how does a family business plan its succession?
The succession plan जो है, that is as Cheema साहब also said earlier, फैमिली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो है वो फैमिली खुद प्रॉपरली नहीं बना सकती। देयर आर सो मैनी पिटफॉल्स इन इट। जिस भी आदमी ने अपनी फैमिली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनानी है या फैमिली बिजनेस प्लान आगे बनानी है, चाहे वो स्मॉल है चाहे वो मीडियम इंडस्ट्री है, मस्ट टेक सम प्रोफेशनल हेल्प। स्कूल में पढ़ते थे तो ऑल द चिल्ड्रन आर नॉट इक्वल। अगर 60 की स्ट्रेंथ है क्लास में, एक फर्स्ट आता है, एक 60th भी होता है। वो जो 60वें नंबर पे होता है उसको भी टीचर की उतनी हेल्प चाहिए होती है जितनी कि फर्स्ट आने वाले को भी चाहिए होती है। दैट मीन टीचर इज द फोकल पॉइंट। सो मेरा सजेशन ये है कि सक्सेशन प्लान बनना जरूर चाहिए, बनाना भी जरूर चाहिए, but not without the help of professional people who can really help you in planning. That's what I...
You want to add on to this succession planning?
No, I have nothing to say. I have told everything.
Okay. Okay. So now I'll open it to questions here. Yes.
मिस्टर चीमा, आपने जो फैमिली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की बात की थी, ये क्या इज इट अ कोर्ट रजिस्टर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट? व्हाट्स द बाइंडिंग अथॉरिटी ऑफ दिस?
फैमिली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्या लीगली कोर्ट रजिस्टर्ड होता है?
नहीं, ना यही तो बनाते हैं चंद्रशेखर जी।
तो जनरेशंस आफ्टर जनरेशंस व्हाट्स द बाइंडिंग
अथॉरिटी? एक जनरेशन की बन जाए उतनी बहुत है, अगला जनरेशन वो देखेगा अपने आप।
See, to your question, there is a big range. Some people register it in the court, make it very legal. Some people make it very informal. Some is not even written, but adhered to very strongly. That's the value system across. It's just like countries. Some countries have very detailed constitutions. Some don't. But the spirit is more important. What is actually practiced? Yes.
Chandrasekhar, the panel is super. We are enjoying the panel discussion. But you have any idea whether you're going to have a Q&A with the rest of us?
Excuse me, sir?
Do you think you're going to have any participation with the rest of us?
No, I'm just asking questions. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, great. Now, what question did you ask? You said, okay, I have a question. See, one probable mistake, not mistake, element you might have missed in the discussion is, there is something called human beings motivation. Why do you become an entrepreneur? Something is driving you. Why do you earn money? Uska baad next step kya hai? That will define what is their own, whether they want to be professional handover management or they want to maintain the generation or simply mera samay tak, as he was nicely pointing it out, mera sam ho gaya. Now you guys, what do you want to do with the children? You want to join to become a professor in abroad or join IAS or you can start your own something, you can do all that. Because he has concern, he has satisfied what inspired him, and he has made his wealth. Obviously, he will take a call how to distribute the wealth.
Very good. Let me.
I would like to answer. See, अब जैसे मेरा केस लीजिए, मैंने 10,000 से शुरू करके 5,000 मिलियन की कंपनी बनाई है, तो मैं चाहूंगा ना कि ये आगे चले, जो मैंने इसके ऊपर ब्लड लगाया है उसका कुछ चले तो सही आगे, अगली जनरेशन को तो जाए, सोसाइटी को तो जाए, इसलिए ये मेरा धर्म है कि मैं इतना कुछ तो करके जाऊं ताकि ये आगे बढ़े और मेरी कंट्री के लिए ये काम करे.
Let me add on question, very interesting question, is what has been your driver? Has it been only money or are there other drivers as entrepreneurs? Your own life's journey, Mr. Bhogal.
सर ऐसे है जैसे हम लोगों ने अपने बुजुर्गों को देखा है, if we do good, surely I don't say 100%, even the children follow 75% of it, तो काम आगे चल जाता है. I give you one example of my own self. In our family, it's a very surprising thing. Nobody carries a briefcase. Can you believe it? I go back home from office empty-handed. I come back to the office empty-handed. Why? My father, my eldest brother, my number 2 brother, my number 3 brother were doing the same thing. So if I do something good, if I'm following the principles, one thing, ladies and gentlemen, I would always advocate is, please never ever cheat anybody, be it the government, be it your customer. Government mean never ever do tax की चोरी, जो मर्जी हो जाए. हमारी बाइसिकल इंडस्ट्री में 50% products are sold without bill. पर हमारे को एक बात का फख्र है, आज तक in 84 years, not even one single penny worth of goods are gone out of the company without a proper invoice.
एक्चुअली ना ये बहुत जरूरी है.
ये बहुत जरूरी है.
मैंने 12 साल थर्मस कंपनी में नौकरी करी है और पूरा टैक्स पे किया है. वो मेरे दूसरे कुलीग कहते थे यार वो सेविंग में डाल दे और लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ले ले. मैंने कहा नहीं, टैक्स जो है वो देने के लिए होता है, टैक्स चुराने के लिए होता. मे बी दैट इज द रीजन दैट वी आर अर्निंग टुडे. मे बी
आप टैक्स प्लानिंग कर सकते हो. दैट इज नॉट अ चोरी.
I've got a question to the panel. The question is that when the second generation or say the third generation enters the family business, the child has got a psychology, ये business मेरे पापा का है या मेरे दादा का है. Now with that type of psychology, when the child enters into the company, he knows उसके family members कौन से हैं और employees कौन से हैं. Now how do you tackle being the owners of a family business, that type of ego of the child, which is going to be a really big impediment in the growth of the company, because a day will come when he will become the director.
So I'll ask Mr. Rajan to take this question. Because
one of the very important point to be added to your question, the answer of this question is, first of all, when we make the constitution, as Cheema Sahab has said, that constitution or MOU of the family business, उसमें एक clause can be added. The जो भी बच्चा, the child who will join the business, first of all, he has to work certain number of years in some company. जब तक एक बच्चे को अपना प्रॉपर जॉब नहीं करता, और कई बार क्या होता है कि बच्चा आके एक बड़ी चेयर पे आके एक बड़े ऑफिस में आके बैठ जाता है, उसको एक ऊपर का प्रोफाइल मिल जाता है और वो चीज़ें नीचे के सारे स्टेप्स मिस कर देता है. जिसकी बात कर रहे हो उस तरह की सिचुएशन बननी शुरू हो जाती है उस टाइप पे.
Situation is when the child is working with a company, he is an employee. He knows after 2-3 years I'm going to enter my father's shoes, right? बट वहाँ पे वो ये सोच के काम कर रहा है कि 2 साल बाद या 3 साल बाद मैं अपने पापा के सीट पे बैठूंगा या उनके साथ बैठूंगा. 3 साल बाद when he enters the business, he knows now this is my business. After my father, I may, or maybe with my brother, I'm going to succeed. With this type of psychology, how do you handle it?
देखिए, इस चीज़ में एक बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि अगर आपको पता है कि आपका बिजनेस है और आपके बच्चे ने उस बिजनेस में आना है, तो उस सिचुएशन में आपको क्या करना है, उसका आंसर भोगल साहब ने अपनी डिस्कशन के अंदर बहुत बढ़िया दिया था। अगर आपको याद हो, इन्होंने कहा था कि मेरे बच्चे ने वो रिट्स कार इन्होंने दी और उसने क्वेश्चन किया कि मेरे को ये गाड़ी नहीं, मैंने को चेंज करनी है बिकॉज मेरे बॉस के पास मेरे से भी छोटी कार है। वो बात कहां से आई? बिकॉज भोगल साहब ने, इनकी वाइफ ने अपने बच्चे को उस तरह की ट्रेनिंग दी। सो ये कोई 2-4 दिन या 2-4 महीने की ट्रेनिंग नहीं है, वो सालों साल से उस बच्चे के अंदर इन्होंने वो इनकलकेट किया, क्योंकि इनको पता था कि हमारा बच्चा सूनर और लेटर हमारे बिजनेस में आना है। दैट्स व्हाई सो पेरेंट्स हैज टू इनकलकेट इन देयर चाइल्ड हु हैज टू कम इन द बिजनेस। दिस इज आंसर।
Okay, thank you.
I think value systems matter a lot. Yeah. आप पूछिए. Yes.
That's an exception because I have seen in Delhi, because I've been a part of few startups and few MSMEs, and I have seen people of age of 20-25 having a cell phone worth rupees 1.5 lakh rupee. Even they didn't have money to have that sort of a phone. And that's the mindset in Delhi itself. And people are not looking at the financial aspects. Account में सर हैं 10 लाख रुपए, गाड़ी आ रही है 50 लाख की. It is right or wrong?
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो.
It is a concept. So जैसे भोगल साहब सर ने बोला, चीमा साहब ने बोला, and I have seen a different flavor to altogether even in last 10 years. जो सर ने experience शेयर किया, these are the exceptional. I think इंडिया में टोटलिटी में 10 से 15 एक्सपीरियंस ऐसे मिलेंगे, एग्जांपल्स मिलेंगे. थैंक यू सो मच सर.
बिल्कुल ठीक है. इसका देखिए, इसका तरीका यही है कि अगर सपोज अगर 2 ब्रदर्स या 3 ब्रदर्स एक शॉप भी रन कर रहे हैं, उनकी टर्नओवर अगर 50 लाख की भी है, तो वहां पे भी एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनना चाहिए कि ये बच्चा जो भी आपका है, आपको एक पर्टिकुलर नंबर अमाउंट की ड्राइंग्स आपको मिलेगी और उतनी ड्राइंग्स में ही काम करना है, उतनी ड्राइंग में ही आपने अपने खर्चे करने हैं. यू हैव टू बी स्ट्रिक्ट इनफ कि मैं अपने बच्चे को तो लाख रुपए का ले दूं और अपने ब्रदर के बच्चे के लिए मैं 10,000 रुपए भी क्वेश्चन करूं. तो इस तरह की बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स हैं विच यू हैव टू राइट और डिस्कस विद इन द MOU और इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन.
See, I'll add one example. Being I'm a professional advocate by a profession. See, in my 15 years of practice and dealing in commercial matters, I have seen in level 3 this dispute starts. दादा साहब ने कंपनी बनाई, उनके बेटे ने ऑनेस्टी से कंपनी को रन किया from 10 crore to 100 crores. But when the generation third came, अब उनका जो लाइफस्टाइल है सर, वो उनका दिन शुरू होता है 12 बजे के बाद. Because they didn't have that zero level experience. Though they got the degrees from different universities. उन्होंने अपनी हार्वर्ड से भी पढ़ाई कर ली, कैम्ब्रिज से भी पढ़ के आगे. बट सर जो जीरो लेवल का एक्सपीरियंस उन्होंने नहीं लिया अपनी कंपनी में, दैट्स द मेजर प्रॉब्लम इन थर्ड जनरेशन. तभी सर MSMEs कोलैप्स हो रही हैं इन 3rd to 4th जनरेशन.
एक चीज मैं इसमें ऐड करूंगा. देखिए हमने क्या, अपने मेरे जो डैडी थे उन्होंने हमें इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया कि दीवार नहीं बननी चाहिए. अगर आप लोगों ने रोटियां 4 कमानी है ना, तो 1 रोटी के टुकड़े नहीं होंगे. पहले 4 रोटी कमाओ, फिर एक को दो. जब तक 4 नहीं होती कोई सेपरेशन नहीं होगी. तो आज भी हमारा यही कानून है कि अगर एक बंदा एक ही बिजनेस करेगा, दूसरा करना है तो दूसरी बिजनेस करे, तीसरा तीसरी करे, चौथा चौथी करे. एक में दूसरा बिजनेस नहीं करेगा, उसका कंपटीटर नहीं बनेगा.
So the screen is saying time's up. Any last question in the audience? Anybody wants to ask?
So I have just one question, because since morning we have seen the database.
Yes.
The MSME has a 6.5 CR.
Yeah.
And the second part, MSME, 70% MSME collapse in very first 5 year. Very first 5 year MSME collapse. So being a topmost panelist, can you give a 5 heads which can be taken care by the startups and the new generated MSMEs in India? Can you give the 5 heads which has to be looked upon by the startups?
See, your question is specific to MSMEs or so generic startup rule is that if you have a good product market fit, which very few startups have, a very accurate fit of what they're producing and what the market wants.
So I rephrase my question
Yes.
in 5 steps for the startup and 5 steps for the MSMEs, which are existing business from the generation 1 to 2nd.
Okay.
What would be the steps
Okay.
to be at a 250 crores and 1,000 crores of company?
Okay. Let me hand it over first to Mr. Rajan. If you can give some tips as to what makes an entrepreneur succeed, and then a family business, some tips.
First of all, there must be, that is the important tool, that constitution or MAU, something should be there. Written में कुछ ना कुछ ज़रूर होना चाहिए, 5 lines का हो या 10 lines का हो, you have to start on. Point number 2, it has to be updated every year. और उसी में ही सब कुछ आएगा. It all depends upon the family to family. जी.
Can I? Yeah. Problem with the failure you are talking about. Failure is only for those people who are copycat. आपका धंधा अच्छा चल रहा है, मैं भी यही करूँगा. And I fail after 5 years. Where is your, what you are? You should use your own brain. You should use your own intellect. You can consult people. Do something different than others. एक चौरसिया ने पान की दुकान खोली, उसके साथ 6 खुल गई, वो 6 चली नहीं, एक चौरसिया ही चला अकेला. क्यों? Everybody thought इसकी दुकान बड़ी अच्छी चलती, तो मेरा पान क्यों नहीं बिकेगा? So, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you are starting something, do a thorough study about the subject, what you are going to enter, what you are going to do, how you are going to do. मैं 1-1.5-2 मिनट और लूँगा आपसे सर, वो मेरा फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट है. Everybody in this world is a dreamer. हिंदी में उसको हम ख्वाब कहते हैं, ना स्वप्न कहते हैं, पंजाबी च उन्होंने सुपने कहते हैं, उर्दू में उसको में ख्वाब कहते हैं, इंग्लिश में उसको ड्रीम्स कहते हैं. Everybody have dreams. पर उन ड्रीम्स को अचीव करने के लिए भी आपको ड्रीम करना पड़ता है. First define your dream, what you want to do. Don't say कि इनका ड्रीम तो बहुत अच्छा था, मैं भी यही ड्रीम, मेरे को भी आना चाहिए, and I will follow that. No, you will fail. Have a different dream, you will succeed.
Very good, very good. Yeah, she had a question. After that, we'll come to you. Yeah, this lady has a question. Yeah, but yeah, just a little loud. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so my question is that I'm Azka Khan, the founder and CEO of Global Conflux Stalwarts. Sir, my question to you is that these days, I see that a lot of students from universities, and they want to, grow their business into and make it in, in a pan-industrial form. So they want to, they learn the concept of diversification, like DEI strategy they follow, diversification, in equity and inclusion, this form. So what they would want to do is that they don't want to decide on a particular one single niche, but want to have in multiple segments. So you being an industry expert, I would want you to please, give a guidance. Is it good to start early to work upon multiple niche and multiple industries, particularly, like for example, HR, real estate, or trade, like these days coming up with cryptocurrencies and all, and technology, AI, multiple things. Or to decide with one and work upon with one and take it to a level into, market and, make it flourish, and then go for the next and third and fourth.
Very good question. Anybody wants to take up in the panel? Yeah, Mr.
She
Bhogal.
has already replied herself. Yeah. Everybody knows what athletics is. An athlete can be a runner, he can be a good jumper, high jumper, long jumper, pole vault, anything. But when he start, he concentrate or she concentrate on one thing. Later on, you can. There are multiple sports also you can play, where in athletics also you have to do what we call it, 3-4 events you have to do. You have to do long jump also.
Decathlon, heptathlon.
Decathlon, the running.
Yeah.
So my observation is that first have one aim in your mind, go for it, achieve that, and then you diversify.
Yeah.
Take example of Mr. Ambani. Everybody is talking about him. When they started with one thing. And today, these two experts are sitting with us. Ask them. He is everywhere. What Mr. Adani was.
Yeah. One.
Single thing. And after being successful in that, he went into other trades. So, English ki kahavat hai, jack of all trades, everybody knows, no, nothing to repeat about it. So try to, this is my suggestion, try to concentrate on one thing, achieve your goal, and then you diversify.
Excellent, excellent answer. Last question. I think that gentleman, yes. You had a question, right? Huh? Okay, comment? Okay, anybody in the last row? Somebody had a question? Yes.
Good evening, sir. So my question is the way Amazon, Flipkart and online platform is taking over the market. Are the retailers going backward towards in the market, Indian market especially?
Is the retail, okay.
Is the retail trade towards the downfall?
See, the market of Indian modern trade has started, if you talk about that 1 decade back, it was 2 to 3%, and now it has shifted to 8 to 10%. Because you see in Delhi, but you can't see in the villages. But till now, the market of unorganized market is 90% or 90+%. So it will take time, maybe 20 years or 30 years, but the country, heavily populated country like India, it will be very tough to break unorganized market. No doubt the share of these companies will increasing on a very larger speed, but there are countries, a couple of years back I went to Oman, there the market segment is totally different. 2% is unorganized market and 98% is organized market. But it will never happen in India. No doubt that share will increase of these organized companies.